That's right, Bill. That's right. He's talking. All right. The Booster Club, you see on your itineraries there. I want to acknowledge Don Clausen, and Jody Bates right off the bat, and their heir apparent, Missy Reynolds. We have some special guests. All right, he was supposed to be here. My friend Santiago Rios said he was coming or whatnot. If he comes in, I'll announce him. But you guys know him as Superfan. I know him as Santiago. The guy comes to everything. I don't care whether it's softball, field hockey, whatever. The guy's the best fan you guys got, and you should be very thankful for what he does. Santiago Rios. Our next special guest is my friend, the Assistant Director, Ryan Poisson. So, I know I was adamant about this being all about the high school, and everything else, but honestly, without the programs and stuff, the youth program and the tournament that we run, there wouldn't be, no jackets and stuff like that. I want to point out one guy. When we run tournaments and everything else, and we do weigh-ins, and we use the police center, my friend, Deputy Chief Danny Ahern. You have no idea how much that guy helps us out as far as getting the, when we run those registrations and everything else. That room is huge. But more importantly, to all you guys right here, your little Remember the Titans type night. When you got a police escort with Mr. Hawkins, Coach Hawkins helping out, but Mr. Ahern was the man that sent the 2 cruisers over to your to 129 and gave you a police escort all the way back into Chelmsford. That was Mr. Ahern. Honestly, that's one of those things you never forget. You never forget, you guys, and I hope you all shake his hand on the way out. He's late. That's Todd.
Always late.
All right, so Todd Ahern, his brother, has been huge for us, helping out. He came back and started and coached at K-3 again this year. I call him Loopy, that's his nickname. He's the best. He's done more for Chelmsford wrestling than you can shake a stick at, because he did it from when he got out of high school till now. His kid's not involved in the program and anything else, and he really did. So I wanted to mention Todd Ahern. I said just a few minutes ago about the youth tournament. Guys, you guys work it. You know, you've wrestled in it, you've worked it, you know how nuts it is. Again, this is not about the youth program, but without that tournament and without that work, there are no backpacks, there are no uniforms, there are no Under Armour jet. It doesn't happen. And there's a couple of people here that I wanted to recognize. Mike Stewart, Peter Rott, and Brian Bates. Just raise your hand. So, all that tournament funds a lot of this stuff. And what you guys may not know is I can put on the best show, we can have clinics, we can sell the best hot dogs, we can do everything. But behind those doors, you know what I'm talking about, where behind those doors where those ladies are typing, and Peter Rott and his Excel sheet, and Mike Stewart doing the outliers and the bracketing and everything else, that is the tournament. And if that falls, the whole thing falls apart. Those guys, Peter Rott's kid is a senior at Harvard now. So that's how long his kid's been out of the program, and he still comes back every year and does it, and along with Mike Stewart. So I wanted to say thank you to those guys. 2 more, I promise, that's it. So in any athletic thing that do anything with apparel, if you know apparel, it's a nightmare. There's sizes, there's names, there's wrong spelling names, it's unbleeping believable, okay? So to get a jacket on your son's back is an amazing feat, to put it mildly. And my friend Jimmy Nunnery drives the bus on all that, and I wanted to recognize him. Old Nunbox. All right. Before Coach Rich comes up, lastly, I call him Nervous Ned. He drives me bonkers. He needs to be on decaf 24/7. More energy than he knows what to do with. So instead of getting him decaf coffee, what we did was we got him a camera and we put him behind it. So what you guys don't understand is all you guys that watch your videos and you look to get better and you log on to that YouTube channel so you can see your matches and stuff. That guy shows up on time, every time, early. He's there all day. The reason we put him on the camera was to keep him away from us. But
thanks, buddy.
he is, I'm telling you, Frankie, I know what a commitment that is, and he uploads all the videos and everything else, and he doesn't ask a thing for it, and that's a top-notch guy right there. And Rich, and I'm going to ask for him to have some remarks about the season and whatnot, and then we'll go from there. Coach Bruce Rich.
Are you sure you're not booing? Thank you, Mr. McQuaid. How do you follow an act like that? You know.
Thank you.
But I'm going to do my best. And I was going to talk about that great memory of that bus ride home with the police escort. Again, I want to thank Officer Hearn over there and Steve Hawkins for orchestrating that. As soon as we clinched the tournament, Steve grabbed me and he said, listen, we got a police escort home. So I said, great. All right, so we're driving up Route 3, and it was only going to be from the Rotary to the high school. And I said, you know, let's switch it up a little bit. All right, we're going to get off at 129, and we'll go through town. All right, so sure enough, we got off at, right at where the forum is, and we got pulled over, and there's a couple of cruisers, and the lights are going, and the bus driver was great. She turned the lights on, she goes, I told you guys to sit down and be quiet, now the cops are here, and they're going to take you to jail. All these guys got quiet, and they sat down for the first time ever. Then we filled them in, and we had the police escort, and screaming memes, all right, out the windows and everything, and people were pulling over on the other side wondering what was going on, because it was like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, it was dark, and nobody really cared. The kids, great time, a lot of excitement, and again, thank you, great memory for the kids. All right, I'd like to thank Scott McQuaid and his group, okay, for putting this program on. Fantastic. Right? This would not happen without Scott and youth wrestling. And I will say this about youth wrestling, we're very thankful as high school coaches and high school wrestlers for our youth wrestling program. We've got a very strong, solid program, and the reason why our high school program flourishes is because of our youth program and the coaches and all the support. We thank you. I want to thank you again. Can't thank you enough. One more round of applause, please. All right, so Mr. McQuaid and I, we kind of coordinate. He's got the button over there for the PowerPoint, and I'm going to do my best to try to stay on the same page with him. So we'll do our best here. But at this time, I would like to recognize my assistant coaches and some of their guests. And sitting right over here is Coach Pashoni, who joined us this year full-time. Dan Wachowski, who was instrumental the last several years getting these guys ready. Pat McKay, Same thing, I know his hours got switched up, and we didn't see him as much as we would have liked, but did an awesome job. Thank you, Pat. And next to Pat is his guest, Megan. Hi, Megan. Next to Megan is Brian Viglione. Okay, did an outstanding job. And just one word on Brian. We have a little thing. Like I've been getting soft as I get older. You know, so back in the 80s when I was younger, I was the guy, I was the taskmaster. Practices were tough. We were running 3-hour practices, money in the bank for an hour. It was just, you know, it was just nuts. But as I get older, I'm accused of getting softer on the kids. So my young guys, okay, take over. Brian is the taskmaster. So when I leave the room, I might have to go to see somebody in the training room. Okay, so when I leave, the kids are like going, "Oh my God, look at the guy." Okay? And like, when's coach coming back? All right, so I come back and I listen a little bit, and things would just rip roaring in there. I take another walk, let it go a little longer. Then I come back in and save the kids, and then thank God coach is back. But, it's all good. It's all good. All right, and it helped pay off. It did, big time. Brian's guest, Amanda. Our trainer, who does an awesome job with us. She knows when to put guys back in, when to keep them out. She gets it, okay? A lot of people don't. And we're very, very thankful to have Kate Shagnon with us tonight. Kate's actually my date tonight, because Mrs. Rich couldn't make it. She's watching my daughter's softball game down at Worcester State, so Kate, thank you for coming tonight. Okay? So good to take her. Okay. Coach Hawkins. Okay. Again, awesome job, Coach Hawkins. Okay. You're somewhere between Vig and myself as far as your temperament and practice, and I thought you were a great addition to our staff. Well, most of the time, they say you're a nice coach. Okay, but I'm looking forward to the entertainment later on. I think there's going to be some talking about a couple of coaches, so I'm looking forward to that. But we're happy to have you in the room this year and on board. And we got a lot better because you were there. Steve's guest, Michelle. Hello, Michelle. And Coach Fleming, we're very, very thankful to have Andy Fleming working with us. Now, I'm going to say this. All of these guys have something in common, and that's they wrestled on the last state championship team before this one, all right, back in 2000. Okay? All those coaches, all right, were wrestlers on that team, so they were just as thrilled as we were to see that state championship this year. Right over here, Aaron Mounsey. Okay, we're very happy that Aaron, another police guy, back in the room, and he's going to be doing a lot of off-season stuff too. So we'll talk about that down the road. But Andy and Aaron, I know we're going to do some open mats. We're going to do a lot of off-season wrestling with them. So they're anxious to get going with that. Okay, he wants to see everybody. Okay, all right. Aaron's friend Allie. Okay. James Clausen, all right, we're real happy to have him. Great, you know, it's nice, you always want somebody that can come in the room and beat your best guys, okay? So like, Kyle's a state champion, Yvek's a state champion, all the big guys. James can still tear him off, he still makes sure. All right, well, he can still beat you. But he makes you guys better, all right, as well as these guys. So, we're real happy to have him in the room, okay? Coach Hughes, how you doing? Okay? I'm working with the youth wrestling, but I know you were introduced, so I'll introduce you. But thank you for being here. And who's the guy with the lid?
Dana DeLong. Oh, Dana, no, he just came, that's the heir apparent at Chelmsford Youth Wrestling, right there.
Oh, how you doing?
I have a chat, yeah. I thought you were going to overlook me, but I couldn't.
Okay. So he's the heir apparent, so it is official now that Coach McQuaid,
I'm done.
this is his retirement year, this is his swan song. Keep going around the table. I have one more introduction, and that is Jared Ayotte. We're very, very happy to have Jared in the room. Jared was the heavyweight coach this year, and he made Cole and Spinelli and all those guys, all those big guys, made him a lot better, kept him honest. All right, but thank you for being here too. All right, so that's it. Okay. I had a little bit of speech here, but you know what? The season was awesome. It really was. You know, people are asking, is this the best team ever? Okay, and I'd have to say you're tied for the best team ever. I gotta say, actually, I gotta go back to the debate is the '86 team were state and New England champions. Okay, but they didn't win a dual meet state championship like we did. They didn't win an all-state champion because it wasn't invented back then, okay? And so we were perfect in the state of Massachusetts, and we did more, all right, than that team. So I'm going to say that this team is tied for the best team ever, all right? And I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to crush you, okay? Well, we're a better staff because of that. Well, that's according to Coach Wachowski. Okay? Oh, we have better stats? David. All right. Did you win a low holiday tournament? No. You guys won a low holiday tournament? Right there. Okay, done. I'm sorry. They won a low holiday tournament. All right, before it gets ugly, let's try to move on here. You know, we won 4 regular season tournaments, including the low holidays, the dual meet states, sectionals, Division I state, all states, okay, going undefeated, 24-0, all right, and winning the MVC was truly amazing. And there were some great matches along the way, and I'm just, you know, you know, you can't talk about everything that happened in every match, but I'm looking at that Central match, and that was exciting, and that picture right there, oh, what a great crowd, what an exciting atmosphere that was, and I just keep thinking about Mike Kilmartin's match.
Yeah!
And it went back and forth, and he looked like he was going to win, and then you looked like you were going to get pinned, you were getting your neck wrenched, and what an effort, what a great effort, and we ended up, it was 7-7, 7 wins and 7 losses, but that was the last match, it came down to that, an undefeated season, so you know, give it a like. Okay, at this time, I'd like to recognize the awards winners from the man with the... Pay no attention to the man in the back of the room. It's one of the show. The award night winners. The smartest wrestler on the team brings our GPA up a ton. Thankful to have him. Our scholar athlete, would you please stand? Kevin Wichara. You know, in baseball, I talk about the clubhouse guys. He's the locker room guy. He's the best. All right. Our most improved wrestler, please stand, Phil Camara. Phil's got JV wrestler his first 2 years and varsity wrestler the last 2. And if anybody ever said that you'd be, well, Coach Vig definitely said you weren't going to be an all-state finalist, but you proved him wrong. Okay?
I said you were.
And Pat said you were. But great job, Phil. It's just a lot of hard work that paid off for that young man right there. Let's give it up. Okay, our MVPs that were recognized at awards night. Would you all stand, please? Griffin Murray, Davey Goodall, and Kyle McQuaid. Good job. Okay, Kyle. Thank you. All right. At this time, I'm going to invite some of our assistant coaches to say a few words, and we'll start with, who wants to come first? Brian? Okay, Coach Viglione. Try to keep it under 5 minutes.
2 paragraphs.
It's nice too. It's not what's gonna be coming to me and Hawkins at the show later, I'm sure. I want to start by saying congratulations to the team. This was a special season, something to be very proud of, to go undefeated. This is a huge accomplishment, and it's extremely difficult to achieve. This season was a total team effort from top to bottom. Winning the Lowell Holiday Tournament, arguably the toughest tournament in New England without having an individual champ, is a testament to how important every wrestler on the team was to the season's overall success. To the seniors who are moving on to college or right into the working world, use this season as a foundation of knowing how much hard work and dedication it takes to be successful, and apply that to whatever you plan to do at the next level. You all learned from the ups and downs of your last 4 years and the adversities you've experienced. You made corrections to your drilling, diet, strength training, and overall work ethic to achieve an undefeated this season. You all now have a blueprint to draw from for success in the future. It may not be in wrestling or a job physical in nature, but whatever your plans are, you know what kind of hard work and dedication it's going to take to be successful. I know that a wrestling season is a grind, and practice can be physically and mentally exhausting, especially with coaches yelling at you to push harder when you've already left everything on the mat. You guys all responded with flying colors, responded in passive flying colors. You have built up your mental toughness to levels a lot of people have never experienced. You will have a step ahead of most in the working world for having experienced that grind. Use those experiences to your advantage so you can be a champion in life as well. I would like to congratulate Coach Rich on keeping Chelmsford's winning tradition alive for all these years. And I'd like to thank the parents who showed all their support throughout the year. Mr. McQuaid and Chelmsford Youth Wrestling for organizing this banquet. And this type of season that we had is the type of thing that happens when you have a strong feeder program like Chelmsford Youth Wrestling. And that is it.
Nice job, Coach Viglione. And next, Coach Hawkins.
Gonna crash and burn after that, I guess. What do I say? Everything he said. Good luck in life. No, for the parents that don't know me, Steve Hawkins, I've been in and out of the room throughout the years. This year I was fortunate enough to be there full time, day in, day out with these guys. I initially came back to do this, Coach, thinking, all right, nice, this is awesome, I'm going to give back, this is great, give something back. He gave a lot to me. And by the end of the year, spending the time with all these guys, they totally ended up giving me something back. Some great times.
We're not going to build a roast anymore.
Some great times. They all dedicated some hard work. All you guys on the mat, you had your heart in it every single match. There was no quitting yet. It was awesome to watch. It just a great sense of pride being able to coach you guys. And just take that with you wherever you go, all right, whatever direction you go. A lot of you guys set out to accomplish a goal, and you did it. And just remember, like, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, set goals, all right, try to accomplish them, keep going the way you've been going. That's about it. Biggs pretty much took all the thunder that I had. But just keep getting after it, stay hungry, and good luck.
And now, Coach Pashoni.
First, I'd like to thank Coach Rich. Last summer, you got inducted into the National Hall of Fame. It's a huge milestone. It's definitely got a good formula. It works, obviously. And to everyone there since I was like 8, wrestling and playing football with, and you know, we still sit around and talk about the times we won states, or who won states, and the road they had, who flipped out along the way. You guys are going to talk about it for the rest of your life. You guys are going to be buddies for the rest of your life. People are going to go in their own directions to whatever school. It's not going to matter. You're still going to be friends. You're going to meet up and pick up right where you left off. So, you know, for the guys that are graduating, if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out and call me or hit me up on Facebook, whatever. Underclassmen, underclassmen, you have like now through the Monday after Thanksgiving to get ready. We're graduating a lot of seniors, so we're gonna have to have some kids step up. Wrestling's fun, but winning's more fun. So. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, it was a great time. You guys worked hard. You earned what you got, and there's nothing better than putting yourself out there, working hard, and taking home hard work.
Great job, Coach. Good stuff. Good stuff. And I have to mention that I am very proud. All of our coaches are Chelmsford High School graduates. They're former Chelmsford High School wrestlers. And I can't tell you how proud I am that we have so many people. Yes, we have a huge coaching staff. They're not all there all at the same time, but when they're there, they're just giving back. And I'm very, very proud that we have the support and the giving back like no other program. We have the best coaching staff in New England by far. And I want to give my coaches, my assistant coaches, a nice big hand, please. And these awards and these Coach of the Year things, these Hall of Fame things, all right, these don't happen without guys like that and without people like you, okay, and support, all right, that's out there. So it's definitely a group effort. It's a group award, okay? And I wish I could chop one of those little trophies up and just hand it out to as many people as I could. That's what it's about. How you doing? Holy cow. Is this legit?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Dan Gable? Yeah. He's like, oh my goodness. To Coach Rich, Dan Gable, Olympic gold in wrestling. Holy cow. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, so turn around and look at the next person and give them a hand too. Okay? Awesome. Thank you. Okay. The awards that they give at the state tournament for a state championship are...
No.
Uh-oh. We rehearsed this too.
That's after this.
Well, that's right. So, it's time to hear from some wrestlers. Okay. And I don't know who's going to do them, but whoever's doing Coach... Oh, I'm going to get a stiff neck here tonight. All right, whoever's doing Coach McKay, come on up, and it's Nick Spinelli.
What's going on, everyone? I'm here to recognize one of our coaches who wasn't here a lot this year, but was here a lot the previous 3 years. This freaking guy claims to be tougher than all of us. Many people call him Fatty Patty, but we call him Coach McKay. Coach often runs us through money, calling us weak, and says his freaking daughters are tougher than us. But after 5 laps around the circle, he gets tired and needs a break. Coach is often used as the rag doll by the other coaches when they teach us new moves. he comes over to the heavyweight corner to get thrown around by Cove some more. McCabe was a great coach to have in my corner. He always drilled with me at practice and knew what I was good at. Even though Coach McCabe's name is not on the board, he often acts like it is by calling us girls for not being up there. I wish you could have been there more this year, Coach, because you made practices and money easier than the other coaches. In all seriousness, Coach McCabe is a good coach, a great coach. I wish he could have been there more this year because he helped me improve in a lot of ways. Thank you, Coach.
Megan, you getting that? You got it, right? I'm told it actually gets better than this. Okay. Phil Camara. Shoney.
First off, to all the women my coaches brought as their dates, my name is Phil Camara. An hour ago, you all can find me at my house, stressing to put this together, so let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a hand to Coach Pashoni. Nice haircut, Coach. How you been? You kind of disappeared during the most important time of the season, but that's no big deal. I guess being here, girls in Brazil is more important to you. Let's all rewind and go back to the first day I met Pashoni. It's the first day of practice, dreading money as usual. I see this man, wicked cunt, walk in with a bunch of tattoos, yelling at us, and I think to myself, who's this hardo over there? During that practice, I saw him take off his shorts, and I noticed his legs were shaved, and I thought to myself, what man shaves their legs? But he is Italian, and they do weird things. You know, I never thought a coach could shit on someone on a daily basis until I met Coach Pashoni. I didn't realize how lazy I was until he told me legit every 30 seconds. Phil, you're lazy. Phil, do this. Phil, do that. Blah, blah, blah. I think you need to get your eyes checked, Pashoni, because sometimes you tell me that even when I'm doing something. I also didn't know me and Joey Beck were gay together. Until he told us that every practice. Pashoni, I will miss seeing you walking with flip-flops on a daily basis during the winter. That used to make me chuckle. But most of all, I will miss blasting the shit out of you with my single double leg takedown. Let's give one more hand to Coach Pashoni.
I'm going to ask that from the...
What's up, buddy? Did you get a good pump in before this? You're looking pretty cut. I'm surprised you're not exploding out of the shirt. No. Alright, well, I guess, you know, on a serious note, everyone's being really funny, and I have to ask you a serious question. That's really... At what point in time did you decide to take the mask off as that heroic hero we know as Nitro? And come off the ninja, did you just, you know, exceed the weight limit at some point? I love you, I want you to kind of talk to me. many of you don't know, but me and Coach Hawkins have this, you know, how, you know, all-state, you know, finalist, all-state champ. But, granted, he's a two-time D1 state champ, and I'm not. I lied, he's a one-time D1 state champ. Also, I guess I have you beat. I didn't know that. That's awesome. But without you, I don't think I would have been where I was this year without you and Viggs. I remember one specific time was in practice after states. You know, I clearly, you know, messed up. And I was sitting on the side of the mat and I was icing my ankle. And Viggs told me, you know, I know Natick's working hard and I bet Framingham isn't sitting down. And he was like, I hope you prove me wrong. Hawkins was like, I really hope you do. And that right there was, you know, what really lit the fire. And what really got me going to, you wouldn't want to win all states without all the motivation I got from you and Viggs and everyone else. As much as this is a roast, I'd definitely like to thank you guys for everything you've done for me in my 4 years. So I guess that's all I have.
Okay. Wait.
Give me a fight. Give me a fight breaking out.
Alright, first I'd like to start just by thanking all the coaches at the high school, all the assistants, all you guys put so much time into us on top of their jobs. Also, I'd like to thank everyone at CYW, even my father, who to some might just come off as a fat old guy with a loud mouth. But it's really helped mold all of us into men, and it does a lot for us. But now why I'm really here, to talk about the best looking person in here, Amanda. Oh, God, I mean... Coach Big Man. Vig's a two-time state champ and a New England champ, and then went on to wrestle at Springfield College. Vig's can often be found shopping at Express, picking out a pair of ripped jeans, flexing in front of a mirror. His hobbies include cornhole and taking shirtless selfies. He also enjoys movie nights with Amanda. Coach Viggs has been a positive influence on everyone here. No matter how much they moan and groan when he walks in the room, he's one of the best coaches I've ever had. He helped refine my technique on my feet and finally got me getting takedowns. Whether I had a question about my technique or questions about fashion, Vig was always there to help. When the wrestling room door would open and Vig's face was there, we would all look at each other and think, oh, here we go again. Knowing practice was going to be a grind. He would put on a smirk that everyone could see a mile away. That smirk assured us that, yes, practice was going to suck. Although these practices sucked, it is the reason we went undefeated. Viggs was awesome to have in the room to wrestle with. He always pushed us to use our best technique when we wrestled with him. He wouldn't beat us up too bad, but when we wrestled. But God forbid he messed up his hair, then it was no holds barred. He does like to beat on us a lot though, but what Big Bad Brian doesn't know is that one day he's going to be real old and fragile. That's when I'll get him back. It wasn't just during the season that Viggs helped me. He would always check in and text me to make sure the team was working out and getting ready for the season. He reached out to one of his friends at a CrossFit gym in Nashville and got us a private class at a discounted rate. This kind of lifting brought us all to the next level and taught us how to properly strength train. He would come in and stop by and say hi, but really just to tell us how much better his time was in the workout we're doing. We get it, Viggs, you're better than us. One thing I would definitely miss from Coach Viggs is anytime I got to the front of the weigh-in line, I'd get to the front and he would look at the other coaches and say, oh, here comes the ugliest kid in Chelmsford. Too bad your girlfriend thinks differently. Viggs took me under his wing when I was a freshman and brought me to the next level. Thank you, Coach. I owe a lot of my accomplishments to you, as well as the team does.
Kyle. He's just like his old man, he just can't get rid of that microphone. You know, I think, I said this to you once before, you know that Mr. Microphone?
Yes, I do.
When you were 6 years old, you wanted that for Christmas, they never gave it to you? You've been making up for it ever since.
I was very angry.
Good stuff. Oh, be kind.
All right, first of all, I want to thank every single one of my coaches here, from Mr. Bates, who drove with me in youth, and Mr. McQuaid, our longtime youth coach, who took all of his kids and made us into wrestlers. He's the reason I love wrestling, but at the same time hate it. I'd also like to thank all the assistant coaches for the high school. Yeah, even Coach Vince, who I can confidently call my friend. But I really want to speak about a man who's not only impacted my wrestling career, but who has impacted my whole high school experience. That man is Coach Bruce Rich of the Massachusetts Wrestling Hall of Fame, with nearly 600 career dual meet wins, and I think, what, 12-time team state winner? 9? Oh. 2-time New England team winner, and this year in addition of an all-state title. He's been the wrestling coach at the high school now for almost 4 decades, and I'm sure he's impacted everyone in this room in some way or another. Coach has never missed a practice without good reason. He holds himself as responsible for his attendance as he does his wrestlers. Even though some of us missed a few more practices than necessary. I'm looking at you, Phil. I'm looking at you, Griffin. Yeah, what's up? Coach Rich not only refined my wrestling, but he has shown me how to treat people with respect. As a coach, he has always put an emphasis on it. Respecting yourself, your team, your coaches, your opponent's coaches, and anyone you encounter. He always greets everyone with a firm handshake, and he always asks how you're doing. And sometimes, he'll even ask you for a ride home or bug you for 6 months to play football. His respect as a coach sets an example for everyone in the program. Even at a loss, Coach shakes the other coach's hands. Although, come to think about it, we didn't do much of that this year. He's also pretty good about us misbehaving. You know, Christmas Eve playing all the holiday music, going live to Dominic the Donkey, and doing our drill into Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But really, he may not look like much, but he always, when he makes it, yeah, he may not look like much, but he can still make his way around the mat. Well, at least after you get him out of his wheelchair. Personally, I can say I've seen Coach Rich leg sweep nearly every person in this room who was out on that mat with us. But imagine if he was half as tough as Bossy. When he comes out for live wrestling, he's coming for blood. Never takes it easy on us kids. But us kids eventually come in and start showing Coach a thing or two. Yeah, I did. Through my 40 years as a wrestler under Coach Rich, I've been given many speeches about life lessons applicable not only to wrestling, but all aspects of life. Though sometimes you can't tell if he's trying to get you pumped up or not. Even worse, you can't tell if he's angry at you or just pulling your leg. The van rides with Coach to and from tournaments are where he really shines though, where the truth really comes out. But as we all know, what happens in the van stays in the van. But really, he's a fountain of knowledge, and all underclassmen should take full advantage of him. He's awesome. My years spent as a wrestler under Coach Rich, and alongside all my teammates, will be treasured forever. Coach Rich and all the other coaches are the reason this team went undefeated and won states and all states. I couldn't have asked for a better team or a better high school wrestling coach. Now, I know Coach Rich likes to say you could be a state champ, but we are state champs.
And just for the record, everybody in here has been leg swept by the old man, right? And I believe all you guys too. Okay? No, Hawkins, yes, absolutely. But I will say this. Phil, you got your butt kicked the last time. What are you talking about? All right, but I will say this. the last takedown of the year, right before the New England Wrestling Tournament, Ryan Cove, you did take down Coach Rich. So, congratulations. Okay. At this time.
Thank you, Coach. So what happened? Yeah, take your picture. That's nice. And by the way, he didn't tell you that every kid signed it and all that stuff. So that's a very nice keepsake. Chris Pacioni did that for you. Oh, everyone did? Yeah. Okay, so Jumpsuit Youth Wrestling wanted to throw a couple of awards in. Call them unsung, call them coaches awards, call them whatever. I don't care what you want. There was a few guys that I wanted to, we wanted to recognize as, you know, look, I was going to do a lot of superlatives and most falls and this, that, and the other thing, and you know what? You guys got enough. We wanted to recognize kids or people that came to practice every day, came to practice when the season was over, to help somebody else when they were completely out of it, right? They had nothing going on. It's easy to disappear and all that stuff, but the guys that show up at the end of the year and practices for the kids that are going to New England's, look at it. That's the last thing you want to do, right? You know what I mean? That takes something. That's a teammate and whatnot. So my first unsung hero is Jonathan Arroyo. Again, he came, well, it's really not legit because you came for your brother, so, yeah. But anyway, so honestly, this guy right here, turn around. I embarrassed the heck out of him in my backyard and called him some bad names and said some bad things about him, but he stuck it out. He came the whole year. His brother Christian at the end, he was still at practice. That's what a teammate is all about. John Arroyo. Okay, my second one. So, you know, let's just call him Shrek. I'm just kidding you, Shrekky. But you know what? First of all, the kid played football at 250. You look much better at 220. All right? You did it. It was unbelievable. The kid showed up at the end. He came and worked out with Ryan Cove. And of the guys that can disappear, usually the heavyweights disappear the fastest. Okay? And I'm not knocking you bigger guys, but they tend to disappear because the beating that's been on him all year. He kept coming even when he wasn't involved. He wasn't still wrestling. Probably the best kid to not move on to the Division I states and tough section. If he got out of the section, he'd have been an all-state and he'd have been at the New England's, guaranteed. Nick Spinelli. Lastly, huh? Oh. I haven't moved it yet? No. All right, well, listen, I gotta walk and chew gum. Look at that. What a shot that is, huh, kid? All right, you're done. Anyway, all right, we'll go back, Spinelli, we'll go back. There you are. Oh, yeah, there you are. No, you know, you're nothing. Back to nothing. You're out. So next up. What people don't understand now, this guy I've had since he was in kindergarten, and he has a royal pain in the CNA. Yes, thank you, the back end. Oh man, he'd drive you to drink, he's brutal, but you know what he did do? All season long, and what people may not know, what he did do is he showed up at my house, he drove the helium boy, Joe Veck, who used to be in good shape, but now he's been on the helium diet or something, I don't know. Look at the size of your kid. Anyway, I love, he's a good kid. Danny Bates drove all these kids back and forth, weighing in, taking them here, taking them there. Even when he was hurt, he did all the things that a teammate does. And you got to understand what is involved in being a teammate. It's not just, here to get the trophies and everything else. It's the guys that show up at the end of the year to help out the other kid when you got no fight dog in the fight. Danny Bates. All right. Lastly, we're going to go quick now. We're going to pick it up because we're dragging. All right. Individual state champions. We'll say the reason we're giving these out, not because of who they are. Did you see the MIAA medals? Oh my God.
They're terrible. MIAA trophies, all right? And if you win a state championship, and that's one of the goals, okay, to belong to a state championship team or win an individual state champion or both, but they don't do enough for you guys at that tournament. So thank you, Mr. McQuaid, for coming up with these trophies. And right now, I'd like a couple of assistant coaches to come on up and assist me with this because these guys are heavy. First state champion, Joe Vecchione. State champion, Griffin Murray. State champion, Davey Goodall. Tony Pashoni. You're not the next state champion, but come on up. This last one. State champion, Kyle McQuaid. Congratulations, guys. Okay, you guys Coach, and I think if you could help me, a couple of your guys that were helping to set up, if they could come up here as well.
Yep.
To give us a hand, because they... Yep, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
He's going to be over there.
All right, awesome. Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to have the young guys come up first, and we've got some treats for everybody. We've got a plaque, we've got a pullover, we've got a T-shirt, and we've got a ring. Okay, if you awarded one. So I'm going to have the coaches help with this. And our first recipient is freshman, 132 pounds, Devin Giannino. Devin did a nice job this year. Okay, and got banged up in that Brockton match, but had a strong season, has a very bright future. Okay. Did Devin come up? Yeah. Did you get it? Yeah. All right, good. Okay, next, freshman, 126 pounds, Zach Reynolds. Good job, Zach. Okay, Zach was one of those dedicated guys too. At the end of the season, he came right to the end, washed the mat every day. Okay, and he got better. He got better, just being there those last 3 weeks. And also had a winning record in his freshman year too. Great job. Okay, next one, sophomore. These weights might not jive what I say to this, okay? So, sophomore, 126 pounds, Jack Stansfield. Jack wrestled in the second tournament this year in place, and we're looking for a lot from Jack next year as well. Sophomore, 138 pounds, Hey, you should be so handsome. Right? And Connor did a great job. Connor's a 3-sport athlete, right? Doing some track right now, and but we're going to hear from him down the road as well. Okay, sophomore, 160 pounds, Jack Flaherty. Jack was ready to go. If I tell you, if one of those stars went down, he was ready to go. Okay, had a great JV season. Which place in the JV tournament? Second place in the JV state tournament. All right, awesome job with that. And we're going to hear from him. He's going to go. Sophomore, 160 pounds, Joey Vecchione. Joey was fourth in the Lowell Holiday Tournament. He was first in the Chelmsford Tournament. He was first in the D1 North Tournament. He was first in the D1 States. Only a sophomore, so there's a lot of good times ahead. So congratulations. Okay, sophomore, 195-pounder, Jake Ferrer. Jake, you got to lift weights, Jake. You get up to 220 pounds for next year. Did you hear that? Lift weights, 220 pounds. Okay, next up, sophomore, first-year wrestler, heavyweight, Brendan Cochran. Same deal. I know Brendan knows lifting weights, okay? And Brendan's going to be the man next year at heavyweight, okay? So make sure you get some mat time in. Big, very, very important. Okay, great job. Okay, junior, 120 pounds, Joe Nealon. He had a great season, placed third in the section, scored points in every tournament. They had some big matches, and the style of Chelmsford wrestling on top is evolving to Lowell wrestling, the influence from Mr. McClay to Russell Lowell High. Great cradle guy. I was always against it, but now I'm a big fan. Oh, great job, Joe. All right. Oh, everybody, 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Okay. All right. Junior, 138 pounds, Tim Scaplin. Okay, congratulations. Okay, great job. Okay, looking for big things next year, Tim. You got to get on the mat in the off season. Okay. All right, my man. Okay, 182 pounds, junior, Mike Kilmartin. Okay. That's the match we were talking about earlier. Okay, great job. Great job. Okay, that helped us to a winning season right there. And an undefeated season as well. And fifth in the section, okay, and scored points in most of the tournaments. Okay, great job. And next year you should be one of our main guys. Okay, so congratulations. All right, 145 pounds, junior James Ripley. Okay, James, you're going to be the guy right in that weight next year. Okay, don't get too big. Okay, just watch your weight, exercise, hit the mats. All right, you'll be a good for us. All right, congratulations. Okay, senior, 120 pounds, Scott Phoenix. Scott came out for wrestling last year as a junior, and we're real happy he did. I know it's going to pay off for him down the road. I think what you developed, okay, that's going to help you down the road is a great work ethic, okay? And I want to thank Coach Mounsey to help get Scott into the sport. Coach Mounsey, great job. Scott, outstanding. Outstanding. Okay, Andrew Savinskas. I'll tell you, there's a lot of guys, if you're the back, you're a senior, and you're a backup heavyweight, all right, and you don't get many varsity matches, a lot of guys will take a walk, okay? This guy did not take a walk. He was ready to go. If that guy got banged up, he was in the match. And I got to reflect back to the match against Springfield Central in the state semifinals, and he went the distance, and he actually was very, very competitive in the match. And where did that guy end up placing in the All-States? Third in the All-States. So right there, Civvy, great job. Okay, senior, 170 pounds, George Cole. Hey George, we're happy to have you in the room. You were a mentor of a lot of the younger guys. George was banged up most of the year and had a hard time getting on the mat, but I'm happy you stayed with it. Wrestling's in his blood. His father's here, was a state champion for Triton and a high-level wrestler in college at the University of Lowell. So, George Cole, great job. Congratulations. 170 pounds. Alex, couldn't make it tonight? Alex Combs? Okay. All right. You know, sometimes we just couldn't find a wrestling picture, so this one's going to have to do. Senior. What? See what wrestling can do for you? You can go from this to that, right there. Okay? Great job. Kevin Machado. Okay? Smartest guy in the team. All right? Good, you know what? Here's what I'd like you to do, if you don't mind. Okay? We were in Fenway Park last night. Great experience. The camera was going by. We're up on the jumbotron, and we have pictures of it. But Kevin, could you reenact what you did last night? Good stuff. Good stuff. Kevin, congratulations. Pleasure coaching you. Okay. No shuffle. Too many parents here for the shuffle. Okay, moving right along. Senior, 145 pounds, Ben Fogg. We have a new expression in wrestling at Chelmsford High School. It's called fogging. You're losing the match, you could be down 5, 6, 10 points, just getting the you-know-what kicked out of you, and all of a sudden, he reaches back, he grabs the head, and he pins the guy, and he did it, I don't know how many times. But that we just call it fogging now. So, you don't want to wrestle like... Oh. You signed up for the Marines, didn't you? You're going to knock them dead. Congratulations. That's fine. I tell you, there's a lot of guys that go on. We've got doctors, we've got lawyers that come out of the sport, we've got businessmen that come out of the sport, okay? We've got guys that go in the military, all right? We have a guy that he's sitting right here right now, he went to West Point. Is he here? Oh, yeah, Andy Fleming. Went to West Point grad, right? Did 3 tours in Iraq, okay? And, I always told him too, when the Russians come over, I want him in the foxhole right next to me, all right? But, when the Russians come over, okay, I want a lot of you guys right next to me too, okay? And, that's what it's about. But how did I get going on Andy Fleming? Okay, Marines right there, okay? Great job, Ben Fogg. Okay. 120 pounds, senior, Connor Clausen. Connor is a 2-time state finalist and had to get some surgery on his shoulder. How's your shoulder? It's coming along, okay? And one of the most outstanding wrestlers in this program, and you didn't even see him get on the mat this year. But I tell you what he did do, he came to practice all the time, he came to tournaments all the time, he had a notepad, all right, and taking notes for our next matches. How many of you guys saw some of the notes that he took for you, all right? He was like another coach this year, all right? And we're very thankful. Okay, Connor, okay, Arroyo. Christian wrestled freshman year, then he didn't come out sophomore year, then he didn't come out junior year. You were working on your grades, right? Then he came back out senior year, and lo and behold, 4th in the Chelmsford Invitational, 3rd in the sectionals, 4th in the D1 states. A big part of this team's championship season right there, Christian Arroyo. Congratulations. How we doing? Okay, senior, 106 pounds, John Arroyo. Okay, John, outstanding job this year. John was 2nd in the Chelmsford Invitational and 5th in the sectional tournament. Had probably one of the toughest lightweight classes I think I've ever seen since I've been coaching the sport. And he just came up that close, but again, one of the unsung heroes and well-deserved. Well-deserved. Congratulations. Okay, senior, 145 pounds, Danny Bates. Congratulations. Danny was hurt in the first match of the year, and it put him out for another month to a month and a half, and that was kind of a setback for him. Still managed to place high at a good weight class in the sectional tournament. He was 5th place right there. And a match that I'm going to reflect on is his match in the dual meet against Springfield Central, okay, where you pinned that guy at the end, right? Or you pinned the guy, Springfield Central. That's one of the top traditionally programs in the state. It was a huge match that enabled us to get to the state finals and win a dual meet state championship. Danny, congratulations. Okay, senior, 220 pounds, Nick Spinelli. Now, 220 is what you wrestle at. What do you weigh right now? Okay, because he's getting ready to go play college football at Bridgewater State. Okay, Nick, great job, great season. A lot of people don't know, many wrestlers wrestle hurt, and this guy hurt his shoulder. How are we doing on time? We're close, all right? Hurt his shoulder after that Tewksbury match and just sucked it up the rest of the way, never complained, did an outstanding job all the rest of the way. He had some great tournaments. He was first in the Big Red. He was sixth in the Lowell Holiday Tournament. First in the Chelmsford Invitational, sixth in the sectionals, that's when he was banged up, but he ended up with a 24-12 record this year. Congratulations, Nick Spinelli. Okay, senior, 195 pounds, Phil Camara. Phil's record this year, 45-9. He was first in the Big Red, first in the Woburn Tournament, first in the sectionals. He was third in the D1 States. He was second in the All-States. He was a Walson All-Star, a Herald All-Scholastic. And who would have thunk after his sophomore year that he would be getting all these accolades and had the great season that he did. Two-year starter, his final career record was 80-26. Phil, congratulations. Senior, 152 pounds, Captain Davey Goodall. Davey, stay up here for a minute. Davey, stay right there. All right, because it's a long list of good things. Record this year, 57-4. Lowell Holiday finalist, Woburn champ, Chelmsford Invitational champ, Big Red champ, first in the sectionals, first in the D1 States for the second time, second in the All-States, and second in the New England Wrestling Tournament. A career record of 162-22. That goes as one of the all-time best. I bet it's top 5 or 10. That's right, the wrestling division. A Globe and Herald All-Scholastic. And he will wrestle next year at Western New England. Davey Goodall. Senior, 132 pounds, Captain Griffin Murray. Rick's record this year, 43-6. He was a Big Red champ. He was a Chelmsford Invitational champ. He was second in the Lowell Holiday Tournament. He was first in the sectionals, third in the D1 States. And third in the D1 States, and he was supposed to be the favorite. He was the top seeded going into that tournament. And he placed third. He had a little bit of a setback, but as he explained before, he got some motivation. He turned it on, and he came back and became an all-state champion. The first all-state champion since 2008. Okay? He's a Globe and Herald All-Scholastic. And I'm sorry, I'm not done. Griff, stay up here. I haven't taken your number. Oh.
They're not done, buddy.
Sorry. Career record of 143-35, and will wrestle next year, quite possibly at Springfield Tech Junior College, okay? And they're nationally ranked, all right? And we're hoping to make that lineup and go to another level when you're done there. Congratulations, Griffin. CO. This year's record, 38-10. He was first in the Big Red, third in the Lowell Holiday Tournament, second in the Chelmsford Tournament. And I gotta tell you, this was probably the best heavyweight field, all right, I've seen. There were great lightweights this year. There were great heavyweights, all right? And this guy didn't look, he wasn't huge, all right? He wasn't, a monster compared to those other guys, but he was as tough as anybody else that he wrestled. He had as big a heart and bigger than anybody I've seen wrestle at that weight class, okay? You were smart, all right? You were a great inspiration, all right? And I'm hoping that Brendan Cochran, all right, studied everything he did, okay, to get ready for this and succeed in the sport. And I'm not done yet. Where were we? First in the Woburn Tournament, second in the sectionals, third in the D1 States, fifth in the All-States. A career record of 117-32. Ryan Cove, congratulations. senior, 170 pounds, captain Kyle McQuaid. This year's record, 50-5. He was first in the Big Red, fourth in the Low Holiday, first in the Woburn Tournament, first in the Chelmsford Tournament, first in the D1 North, first in the D1 States, his first state championship. And Dad back there was a state champion too. Very, very proud. All of us for Lowell, all right? Still good stuff. Good guy. Went on to second in the All-States. Probably wrestled one of the most athletic kids I've ever seen in that weight class. Great match in the finals. I think if you had another minute, you beat that kid. Okay? Fifth in the New England tournament. A great effort. You don't see many kids placed in the New Englands. A Globe All-Scholastic. A career record of 161 and 35. That's one of the all-time best in this program as well. May wrestle next year. It's in May right now, right? At Johnson & Wales? Okay. Might possibly wrestle at Johnson & Wales, or go to maybe some big-time school and go to football games and paint your face. I think I'd rather see him wrestle. Okay? And this speaks volumes, okay? He's a captain this year. He was a captain last year, okay? A two-time captain in any sport, all right? That speaks quite a bit, all right? That's about respect, okay? This guy set the tone, all right, for our program, all right? If we had a great practice, he was a huge part of that. The coaches were, but he was a huge part of that, okay? If we had a bad practice, okay, I'm not gonna say you were responsible, but you had nothing to do with bad practices, all right? But a great leader in this program, a great example, all right, for our young guys to follow. Kyle McQuaid, very, very proud to coach. We're almost, and I wish the seniors well. You're going to all go on and do great things. Don't be strangers, okay? Come back in the ring in the winter when you're on winter break, okay? And come wrestle a little bit. And a lot of guys come back, they do the one day, they try to wrestle a little hard, and we don't see them anymore. They hit the wall really quick. But you know, just pace yourselves when you do come back. But you're always going to be a part of this wrestling family. And again, I'm very, very proud of our coaches, our wrestlers, and our parents. And I'm sorry.
Nope, you done?
Okay. All right, come on up. Scott, come on up. Sorry, I'm looking at Dawn back there giving me some signal.
A little award for you.
Oh! All right, would you like some microphone?
I thought you were talking to me.
I'm going to, hang on, time out.
This is for Scott.
Been awesome.
Thank you.
From tournament to tournament to tournament. This is what we've seen. So this is what you get. It just doesn't have a plug in it, but it's yours. Scott McQuaid, Chelmsford Wrestling, Speaker of the House.
You finally did get that, Mr. Microphone. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, could a couple guys do me a favor, a couple coaches? Okay, just those two boxes. Next coach. Okay, just pop those guys over. This was a last, minute deal here, and we got a little treat for all the wrestlers before you leave. As you're exiting, the coaches will be there, and they'll be holding these, and you can take a souvenir. Okay, so you want to pull one out, Pat, to show what it is? These are actually pretty neat, because sometimes the trophies end up in a box, ends up in a closet, but that guy's in the cupboard, all right, or it sits there as a pencil holder, and you see it every day, okay? All right, we got the box. So all the wrestlers, before you leave, come over and grab one, please. And it's been a great evening. Again, I want to thank Youth Wrestling, Scott McQuaid. Congratulations on a great career. And you good? Okay? And I think that concludes.
We got a video.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. We have a slideshow. We have a slideshow.
So I just want you to understand the video. It's not that, it's 16 minutes, but it's 4 songs is what it is, okay? And it's chronological. So I want you to kind of pay attention. I tried to make them short. They have to fit into the song. Thank you, the time. And so pay attention. The first one's going to start off. There's some pretty cool video footage right off the bat of CYW back as far as I had. then it's going to be getting there, and then the season itself. So it's in 3 segments, but it's 4 total songs, and I hope you enjoy it. At the beginning pictures, look, if the pictures are a little pixelated, tough beat, because that's what I had to work with, okay? But anyway, hang on a second. Oh, one thing. Do not leave again. I want to remind you guys, we're going to take a picture, team picture, right, Coach? Out, where are you? Over there. And with your rings and your jackets on. I'll announce it again, but I just want you to make sure you don't leave. Hang on. If anybody wants to grab a drink or whatever, go grab a drink while I'm doing this.